Hi, I'm Vanessa. Welcome to my vlog. I just wanted to share with you a realization that I had a few days ago, which is something that absolutely everybody talks about in, motivational speeches and quotes and all these things. Like when somebody knocks you down, get back up. But I feel like you need to really feel it emotionally and physically in your body to have the self-trust to actually stand back up again. And I feel like what it has to do with, I feel like right now it's a time where a lot of people wake up to the realization that you are worthy, or even you're challenged or triggered in exactly that pain or exactly that wound of like, am I enough? Am I too much? And it's really interesting because I realized the other day when I was triggered in like an old wound of, deservingness of being heard. I was actually triggered by my mom who, made me feel like I'm selfish when I draw my boundaries and, that I'm not to be taken seriously and these kind of old wounds, I've definitely worked on them before, and I feel like I've healed quite a bit of it. But you know how it is when you meet up or when you spend time with people that, took part in creating that wound. And I don't mean this in a judgmental way, but when you are with family, it's often harder to you suddenly discover that maybe there's more healing to do. That's what I'm going to say. And that's what I discovered. And what I realized is, I had quite a difficult childhood. I'm a very sensitive person, and I didn't realize that, or I didn't think that this is okay, because I never learned growing up how to process my emotions or have somebody hold space for my emotions and for that my reality is valid and that my emotions are valid, no matter if somebody doesn't perceive it as dramatic or painful as I would. So that's how I guess the wound for me was created, that either I'm not enough, or I'm not safe and I don't deserve to be heard, or I'm not to be taken seriously, these kind of sort of things. And I realized that as I've had this difficult upbringing, which I feel like, I've made so much peace with, although sometimes wounds come back up and all that, I just feel like okay with it. And I realized that I'm a spiritual being first and then a human. Although I really believe that being human is a very spiritual experience, because nobody else experiences so many emotions as we do on Earth as a human being, as far we've discovered. I don't know. Oops, had to change location. There was a little doggy interrupting the video. So what I was saying is that when we are confronted with a wound, an old wound coming back up, it's often quite painful, right? And often we feel like we want to, like often shame may come up with it, or anger or sadness. And it may often feel, especially in the wound of, us being seen and showing ourselves, it may come up in the way that, oh, I shouldn't have. Or, we may feel a bit like a victim of the situation in terms of not wanting to be seen, and, oh, maybe it wasn't a good idea to show myself. And what I just want to give you a new perspective on, that I discovered for myself, is that, you know what, I made it through a difficult time before. And yes, this difficult time was painful and it shaped me and it hurt me. But I've gone through this now. So I won't let anybody else treat me like that again. and I will not back down. I will not back down because this is what I want. This feels right in my body. This is what I want to do. So I will not let somebody tell me you're not good enough, you're too much, or whatever. It's maybe not a fit for that particular person or group or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be who you are. And becoming who you are is always a process. So we cannot try all the time to be perfect in it. Look at me, I have no makeup on and I'm in the forest with greasy-ish hair. So I'm not trying to be perfect here, but I also had my time when I was really hard trying to be perfect and doing all the right things so that people wouldn't leave negative comments and all this stuff. But that didn't do anything for me. So I decided I just want to be myself. And who helps it? Great. Who connects with it? Awesome. And who doesn't? That's okay too. And so, there's somebody walking over there with a dog, an older man. And in the past, I would have been so self-conscious about holding the camera up and taking a video of myself. But right now I'm just like, fuck everything. It's like we just have one life as this person that you are. And if something is on your heart, it's really our responsibility to be our best parent, to be our best, that sounds cheesy, but be our best cheerleader and respect ourselves, our needs. And yes, sometimes shame may come up, but don't let that stop you, because you deserve to express and create whatever you want. And even if it doesn't look the way that you want it to look later on, Picasso wasn't born overnight. He had to paint thousands of portraits and artworks, and probably 10 are famous now. So just know that you deserve to be raw in your process, and that makes you you, and you get to discover yourself along the way and don't need to be ashamed of yourself. That doesn't mean you shouldn't feel shame or pain or fear. It's totally okay that these emotions come up. When they come up inside of you, we cannot control what we feel, right? So sit with the pain, with the shame, with whatever comes up, instead of, letting those emotions dictate what you can and cannot do. And also don't let other people's opinions dictate what you can and cannot do. And I know it's always easier said than done. I know that from experience. But also you really deserve to explore yourself. And me just making this video is exploring myself. And my inner child is so happy right now. And honestly, it took me a long time to decide that I couldn't care less about other people's opinions and that I just want to follow my bliss and have fun. So that's why I'm doing it. And you never know what your bliss leads to. You enjoying one thing may lead you to another thing and to another thing and to another thing. And that may bring you to whatever you want in life. So yeah, I guess my message for today for you is trust what moves you and the passions that you have, and take action on them. And instead of letting people tell you what you can and cannot do, or it's not even about other people actually, it's really about when we're confronted with an old wound or a fear coming up, it's about not running away from it, but really sitting with that fear. Because usually I think the normal human instinct, survival instinct, is to, fear's coming up, that means pain, so let's not face it. But what the healthy thing to do is, which I was also not taught, is to sit with the emotion and open up to it. Because by opening up to it, and that may feel counterproductive, because then you will be feeling possibly things that maybe you don't want to feel. But as you're feeling through it, making space in your body for it, you are also opening up the possibility, and you're not running away from your fears or suppressing them, but you are actually facing them and feeling through them. And through feeling through them, you make peace with a part of you that feels let down or suppressed or in any other way. Yeah. So as you're sitting with your feelings of not enoughness or too muchness or fear, shame or pain, whatever it is for you, just know that feeling that through is really healthy, even if this is a new concept for you. Helps me every time. And as we are on our path to growing and going in the direction that we want to go in, we're gonna encounter our wounds again and again in life. So learning to sit with that emotion and feeling it through is really a good skill. Sounds so simple, I know, but it takes courage. And I know you've got this courage, so you've got this, and just a little reminder today. Bye.